That's the biased thing. Mike Evans is the rookie of the year. Odell Beckham had Eli Manning throwing to him. Mike Evans on a 2-14 team that came down with 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 80 catches in 14 games. Yeah, I know Beckham missed 12 and has more yards, but look who they had throwing the ball to him. Mike Evans is my rookie of the year.
That whole class.
But this 2014 receiver class, when it's all said and done, might very well be the quarterback class of '83. Everyone talks about still.
This is the wide receiver
or the NBA draft of '84 and 2003. This might be that class for receivers. Because from top to bottom, I can't think of one slouch a wide receiver.
No, they're all solid.
Watkins,
Robinson, Benjamin, Evans, Watkins,
Lee,
Beckham,
Hearns, Matthews, Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Even some that got undrafted are doing well.
Yeah.
I can't think of one slouch a wide receiver.
No, it was
you could throw in Eric Ebron, the tight end.
Yep.
I hit.
Yep.
I mean, really.
It's crazy. You know, that's why I put that whole wide receiver class, because I can't pick one. They've all done stuff during the year to make you go, holy crap.
I missed one, but we should all be able to think of one off the top of our heads. 2014, who is in all sports, your coach of the year?
Coach of the year. I am going to be biased. I'm going to say with what he had to work with and what he did and what they accomplished and going undefeated in the SEC and everything, I'm going to go with Billy Donovan as my coach of the year. Probably one of the most undersold college basketball coaches, but one of the best college basketball coaches. But he did what he did this year with that team was phenomenal.
I'm just impressed with Greg Popovich, how he just does this with Boris Diaw. I know he got Tim Duncan, Mane Ginobili, Tony Parker, but the Boris Diaws, the Patty Mills, the Chris Josephs, just some of that talent that he has that he's got to get them clicking when some of these guys want to rest, the All-Stars, and he made them understand, you know what, I'm playing for the bigger goal. I'm going to rest my team. We're going to take it out. And more teams are actually trying to copy that method. And the offense that he runs, because he was known for a defensive guy, he had to actually adjust to Tony Parker to run his style because he realized Tim Duncan is getting older. Mane Ginobili is getting older. So you cater to Tony Parker's style, which like getting up and down the court. And that motion offense that he runs is a thing of beauty, where you run number backdoor screens and you screen on the top of the key. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Greg Popovich gets my coach of the year.
My coach of the year. You guys mentioned two good ones. My coach of the year comes in a sport we hardly ever mention on this show. But I want someone to do me a favor. I want both of you gentlemen to flash back to the first week of April of 2014 and tell me you thought the Kansas City Royals would be one game away from winning the World Series.
No.
Ned Yost, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, gets my nod for Coach of the Year. To take a team with one of the lowest payrolls in baseball and take them on a dominant run to the American League playoffs and be one game away from taking down the new dynasty, which is the San Francisco Giants. Y'all wouldn't have believed me. Ned Yost is my Coach of the Year.
I wanted them to win so bad too, man. I was rooting for them.
I wanted Kansas City to win.
Yeah, I was rooting.
Just for something different.
Yeah.
All right, next one to go, man. We got College Athlete of the Year.
Ooh. All right, my college athlete of the year, I'm going to go with Shabazz Napier. En route to the championship game, St. Joseph's, Villanova, Iowa State, Michigan State, Florida, and then playing Kentucky, who had the backcourt, the Harrison twins, also Julius Randle, Lloyd Collins Stein, to name a few of their prospects, beat them 60-54. 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. It reminded me of a lot of Kemba Walker run in 2011 with the Huskies as well. Just he did it all, and he was just in the zone. Shabazz Napier is now a solid pro for the Miami Heat, where he intends to go ahead and establish a career as pretty much a guy who come out the bench and see what he got there. But so far in Miami, he's done a solid job when he did get the minutes. So Shabazz Napier is my athlete.
Of all the things Shabazz Napier might be remembered for, God bless him. He brought to life the financial struggles of kids at big schools that are making a lot of money, and these kids aren't getting nothing. So of all things, Shabazz Napier is an honorable pick for Player of the Year. Kevin, who's your college athlete of the year?
College athlete of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Your Heisman Trophy winner, Marcus Mariota. The boy's bad. There ain't you can't say nothing else about it. The boys played his butt off this year.
I beg to differ.
Go for it.
2,385 rushing yards, 26 touchdowns, Big Ten season record, Big Ten career record. Did it splitting time in the backfield. Robbed of the Heisman because he's not on one of the top 4 teams.
Here we go.
Melvin Gordon.
Here we go.
Tell me,
Every
tell
running
me,
back
tell
in
me,
John's mind is
tell
robbed
me-
of the Heisman Trophy.
No. Tell me how you have the 4th best rushing season in college football history and not get the Heisman when names like Dorsett, Sanders, Dickerson are on that list. And yeah, Dickerson didn't win the Heisman, but just Dorsett and Sanders won the Heisman that year. He had over 2,000 yards splitting time. Last 2,000-yard rusher was Rashaan Salam. He won the Heisman. Another top 5 season belonged to Marcus Allen. He won the Heisman. He broke the Big Ten single-season rushing record and the Big Ten career rushing record, just like Ron Dane. Guess what? Ron Dane won the Heisman. Melvin Gordon got robbed, and I've been waiting for the opportunity to go off on the podcast about it. Melvin Gordon is your rightful Heisman Trophy winner. Marcus Mariota got it for what he did over 4 years, just like Carson Palmer did. Melvin Gordon is the college athlete of the year. 2,300 rushing yards and 24 touchdowns, not to mention a 427-yard game where he only played 3 quarters. How is that not college athlete of the year material? How is that not Heisman Trophy material? I'm done. I had to breathe.
I had to breathe.
You good, man? You got
I'm
some
good.
water?
I get furious. I get so furious. And you know what? I'll even go as far as to say Amari Cooper deserved it more than Mariota did.
Amari Cooper.
They might as well just call the Heisman Trophy the best quarterback in college football award.
Lately,
That's all I got to say about that.
lately it's turned out that way. But
Who was the last non-quarterback to win the Heisman? Was it Mark Ingram?
yes,
Yeah, I believe.
2010? They might as well just call it the best quarterback award.
yeah, I think Mark was the last one.
Yeah. They might as well just call it the best. Don't get me started on the McFadden robbery in 2008.
Oh, here we go with this crap.
Just saying.
Tebow had almost as much rushing yards as he did.
Yeah. McFadden also had passing yards when he wasn't a quarterback and passing touchdowns when he wasn't a quarterback.
Okay.
But we're talking about 2014.
Tim also
All right,
broke.
next one we're going with is
records.
Athlete of the Year in all sports. Who's your Athlete of the Year?
All right, I'm going to go a different route than both of y'all would have.
No, you're not. You're going to steal the one I'm going to take.
I'm going with Monet Davis from
Yeah,
the Little
you
League World
stole the
Baseball.
little girl I was going to take from the baseball team.
First girl to pitch a shutout, 70-mile-per-hour fastball from 46 feet away. You take that in Major League from 60 feet and 6 inches from the mound, same speed is equivalent to 90 miles per hour.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make it.
That's 20 miles per hour faster than your average boy her age. The funny thing is, her first love is basketball and made it clear that she wanted to play for UConn. Though like a girl was trending on Twitter at the time when she was pitching during the Little League World Series.
Later on, they came to find out she was actually 19. I'm just kidding.
But what she needs to do is she love basketball. You better reach out, because I'm sure he's probably like, this girl's an athlete, and I'd like to have her. And you know what?
Gino REM already called it. They called it a recruiting. Congratulate her. They called it a recruiting violation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because she's
Yeah.
4.
She's like 4.
Yeah.
So that's my athlete of the year. Pretty impressive.
Way to steal mine, jerk.
Y'all can have the same Athlete of the Year.
I don't want the same athlete of the year.
Go.
My athlete of the year, considering what he did in the Super Bowl and what he's done throughout the year right now, Russell Wilson. I'm going with Russell. He's my athlete of the year. To me, he's the most underrated quarterback in the NFL
Russell-
right now, getting no love for the MVP whatsoever from people.
I was going to go to Aaron Rodgers. That's understood, I thought.
Yeah,
Or
but
Tony Romo.
even Romo would be a good pick this year with what he's done. But he's done anti-Romo stuff this year. So, but I'm going to go with Russell.
I tell Cowboys fans, he's just framing his biggest failure. Don't get excited yet.
He's getting ready for the playoff game then.
My Athlete of the Year comes from football. And if you look at people this year who've taken big money, Andy Dalton, Colin Kaepernick. How have their seasons been? Dalton's in the playoffs, but he's been up and down. Kaepernick, we discussed him at the beginning of the season. My athlete of the year took a record-breaking deal and put up record-breaking numbers. It's pretty sad. My athlete of the year plays defense and had more receiving touchdowns than Vincent Jackson, Victor Cruz, Brandon Marshall, to name a few. J.J. Watt is my athlete of the year.
Ooh, nice.
You have 4 receiving touchdowns. I mean, come on. And 20 and a half sacks. Also has a pick 6, a safety, a fumble recovery for a touchdown. How is he not getting mentioned for MVP?
Because of where he plays.
Doesn't matter. J.J. Watt has been the best football player this season.
John, get on your soapbox. Do you think he deserves MVP at all this year?
Absolutely. Talk about most valuable player. Let me check my stats real quick. Let's see how many touchdowns Andre Johnson had this year.
I think 2.
I do believe.
Cortez had him on his fantasy team.
Don't remind me.
I do believe that J.J. Watt may have more touchdowns than Andre Johnson. Okay? Oh, yeah. J.J. Watt had 4 offensive touchdowns. Andre Johnson had 3. Not only that, he had 20 and a half sacks on a team where he is the primary focus. You can't say, oh, they had to focus on this guy or that guy. He was the focus of defenses. And we saw how he took over. He's taken over games. J.J. Watt should very well be just like Russell Wilson in high talks for the MVP. But he won't get it. He's going to go to Romo or Rodgers. Maybe Brady, because Brady's the old trick. But Romo or Rodgers, someone like that. But Watt deserves it.
Nice. That concludes the reward show. Do we have another category?
No, we got 2 more, man.
No, we still got stuff.
Okay, just making
We
sure.
got 2 more. I'm throwing one more in for you. Comeback Player of the Year.
Let me throw in that one right there.
Comeback Player of the Year. Go ahead, John, because we know you already got one.
I was actually asking you to just pop in my head. If we don't have any, we can move along.
Yeah, we can.
All right, last but not least, then, Story of the Year. The story that seemed to encompass us, whether we wanted it to or not.
I got mine.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Kevin.
The Donald Sterling fiasco. That, to me, was the story of the year. It encompassed everything that is going on and what's wrong, and it encompassed a whole different tundra, not just sports, but everything else around it as well. So I'm going to go with that as my story of the year.
You got yours, Cortez?
You can go ahead, John.
I look at it like this, man. Sports has been negative all year. You've got Donald Sterling. You had the domestic abuse. You had all the NFL issues. You had the stuff with Goodell. Now, how many times on this podcast did I say it's getting hard to be a fan?
A lot.
You mentioned her as athlete of the year, Mo'Day Davis.
Mm-hmm.
The entire Little League World Series was a story of the year in my book. You had a team from inner city Chicago coming to the finals. Inner city Chicago, where you don't really think of Little League baseball. It's an upstart program. They came in and hung with some of the best in the country. Kids that had far more stuff than they did. Kids that had far more means to make the dream come true. And then you had little Mo'Day Davis, 13-year-old girl out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dominated boys her age.
Yep.
The moral of that story is don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. No, anyone ever tell you can't because you're a girl. They're going to tell you can't because of your circumstances. The Little League World Series this year was the story of the year.
I really don't have I guess I say because it is negative and everything like that. And I just want to say that Roger Goodell has probably been the story of the year for me as far as how he's been handling issues. As you know, me, Kevin, and John have discussed on the show that how he has did a piss poor job at doing things, as we all come to greens with on couple of